congratulations, first of all, for winning Celebrity Big Brother. I know it has been a crazy night for you, and I think it's probably still just getting started, but
Yes.
congrats.
Thank you. Thank you. It's like
Just,
somebody pinched me. I'm not even sure this is real right now.
for you, just going into the final vote between you and Todrick, how confident were you that you were going to win?
No, I wasn't. I
No.
thought it was 50-50. I mean, I really thought the votes were going to be 50-50.
Mm. And was there ever a moment you considered bringing Cynthia instead, or were you dead set? You
No.
guys were like that, obviously.
Yes, I was dead set that this was the person that I connected with, and I knew nothing about anybody coming into this house.
Mm.
And Todrick is so different than me in just about every way that I
Yeah.
think it was an opposites attract. And he was the yin to my yang. He was my homie in that house. He was funny and sweet, and he just was able to offer me a different perspective on life. And I feel like we connected in so many ways that we were similar in some ways and so different in other ways that I was intrigued and I wanted to learn from him. I wanted to just kind of like, well, I mean, when I say learn, just like get a new perspective.
Yeah.
I'm a person who loves to travel the world and I love to meet people and new cultures. And I'm like, this is a man that I could definitely take some different perspectives away from.
Yeah. And, obviously we need to talk about the jury because it was brutal. I mean, I think as far as Big Brother juries in general go, it was a hard one to watch. So I imagine for you, just what was started going through your head when you started seeing the comments as people were putting their votes in?
Oh, I was really taken back, and my heart was kind of heavy
Yeah.
because I was feeling confused because I didn't have any of the information that the jury had. And remember that the way that Celebrity Big Brother is run is different than regular Big Brother, is that the jury does get out and see all of that before
Yeah.
they cast their vote, which is takes a little bit away because they tell you, oh, these diary sessions, nobody else gets to hear it, but as soon as people leave the house, but before they vote, they get to see everything. And there is a way that this game can be played that is not an accurate depiction of who you are necessarily in real life, because this is not real life. This is Celebrity Big Brother. It is a game, and you are allowed to play it however you want. But I still am. I still don't have a full picture of what even has transpired or happened. So in that moment, it was very surprising.
And I mean, even during the commercial break, I can't imagine what you two were even talking about. But if you could give us some kind of insight into that, I guess, was just what that conversation would have been in those minutes you had.
Yeah, I mean, I just noticed that Todd kind of rolled his eyes when Todrick was talking, and he was clearly upset at him, and that was a big turn because when he left, I thought I may have lost Todd's vote because he turned to Todrick and said, "You played the best game of anybody here." So I wasn't sure if I would have Todd's vote or not in the end. So to see such a big change in his behavior was like, whoa. Okay, well, must be something we're not privy to.
Yeah. And you are named the winner, you come out, there's everyone celebrating, but it's obviously there's some tension and then there's celebration all happening at the same time. Just what kind of position does that put you in? How is it uncomfortable?
Oh my gosh. It was really uncomfortable, and it definitely, like, the mother in me was really concerned for Todrick and his feelings, and I was very confused. I couldn't offer any insight or real comfort in that moment because I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. And there is live feeds, but they didn't start until after some of the stuff with Shayna went down, as far as like her committing to the final four with Chris Kirkpatrick, myself, Todrick, and her, obviously. She did at one point do that, and I just don't know if that was shown in the show or not, if they kind of like just didn't really play into that and made it look like we manipulated a situation a little more than we did. But I don't know. Still a lot in the dark with all of this. But I believe one thing about Todrick that I learned throughout the show. I think that he's a big enough person that if he said or did something, that he's able to go back and reflect on and recognize that that was hurtful or wrong. I think he's definitely a big enough person to admit that and apologize. And I think that's what, if that needs to happen, that it will happen. And he will correct if he needs to. And I just hope that people can remember that we are in a pressure cooker inside this house. This is not exactly how we are outside of this situation when we're hyper emotional and pressed and stressed and you name it.
And, you know, when it comes to both of you as a pair, some of the criticism was that it was maybe overly aggressive, but I think on the flip side, in your defense, you two are also the two that were really playing the game and understood it more than anyone else. I'm just curious how much of a push and pull maybe you think it is between those two things.
Well, I didn't really understand the game coming in to a very deep degree. I only had 2 weeks to prepare for this. I got the call 2 weeks before. And I watched both the seasons of Celebrity and a couple episodes of season 23 before I got it. So I had an understanding.
Yeah.
But
Which is more than a lot of your housemates had, I think.
I think so. So, I mean, it's fair to say I had an idea, but I also didn't know how that applied to me because I didn't really see a clear like role model of like how I would want to necessarily be in the game. So I definitely felt like each game is going to be its own ecosystem of people anyways. And there's only so much you can prepare for. And my game plan quickly developed into, okay, well, if at the moment I walk in the door, I'm a target, I've got to just embrace it. And I've got to kind of be really straightforward. I've got to present myself as larger than life because that's what people are going to say. Like, oh my gosh, she's the force to be reckoned with. So I'm like, well, then I'm going to throw my weight around and I'm going to try to be strong in my presence in every which way. And I want people that are standing next to me or competing against me in the competition to be nervous. And I will channel what I have been doing the majority of my life as a professional athlete. I will channel all my energy and I will focus, and I'm hope that I make them nervous just in my being in my presence in these competitions. And that was kind of my strategy. It was like, okay, I didn't want to stab anybody in the back, but it's like, but if I'm coming for you, you're going to know it.
Yeah.
And you're going to probably get some sleep that night.
I don't think anyone would have bought it had you not come out the gate swinging and like winning stuff right away.
I had to. I was like, I'm going to have to fight for everything in this house and try to keep winning as much as possible.
And I mean, how surprised were you that you two weren't more of a target? Like everyone else didn't band together to be like, we need to get them out. Did they just not know, see till it was too late that you two were such a tight pair?
Well, I think part of my idea of being strong, presenting, and honest was that a lot of the house, and I won my first competition, a lot of the house thought it was better to be close to me and protected, believing in my honesty and my strategy, than to be on the other side. And so I was able to get just barely the majority of the house vote, which again, it was like, well, we're safe from Miesha now. So let's just work on the other side. Let's keep her as our strong player in the front and kind of will be shielded by her until we can take her out. But it was a little too late, I think, when the point got to where it was we were ready to cannibalize our own team. I just had a really good stride going and I was able to maintain that.
And, you know, looking back and knowing how some of the gameplay made some housemates feel now, is there anything you would do differently or maybe do regret or would have handled, I guess, differently?
Yeah, I wouldn't have made the promise to Tate to keep her off the block the first week. I was HOH for the longest time in the first HOH is HOH for 10 days and everyone else is only 3 or 4 days. And I'm still trying to figure out this game and system. And I just didn't have it down. And I made her a promise that she wasn't going to go up on the block. And it ended up being sort of an unintentional backdooring. And look, she was a force to be reckoned with. I don't necessarily regret removing her from the house. I regret telling her that she wasn't going to be a target and she ended up being the target. I wish that I hadn't made that promise to her. As you see in the first HOH, when I didn't promise her safety then, it was like I wasn't trying to lie to anybody. It wasn't my intention, but it did end up working out that way. And that would be probably my biggest regret in the game.
And you still didn't technically put her up. She was backdoored.
Yeah, that's true. Which is like, I don't know if that's better or worse. I mean, my intention was absolutely sincere when I told her I won't put you up and I'm not gonna, send you home or whatever. And then it just ended up working out that this game is crazy and we do have to expect the unexpected. And I got all this other information and I'm like, oh my God, I think I'm gonna have to go back on my word. And I did not like that. It didn't make me feel very good about myself, but like, you know what, this is an experiment and I'm not a perfect person and I was not a perfect player, but somehow I made it to the end of this and I won. So I'm feeling pretty happy right now.
And for you, just what were your interactions like with some of the other housemates after the show wrapped? Were you able to maybe talk to people, kind of ease some tension between at least you and them?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm not sure, like Todd was a little bit cold, so he might be a little bit mad at me, but I just have to go back and like have a conversation. I don't want anybody to leave this feeling like that I had it out for them or that I would like the opportunity to apologize if I really hurt somebody's feelings, basically is what I would ask for, because I'm not perfect. And maybe I was saying something that was hurtful because I was bored in there and I was making, poking fun at the way that Lamar grunts when he walks around the house and like, just like things when you just have nothing else to do and you're just being silly and you're laughing at people. And I get it when you go back and watch that, or you're not there to stick up for yourself, maybe that was kind of a hurtful thing. So I'm not above apologizing for that, but I would ask that people also on the flip side recognize that we're in such a weird situation. This is not normal or necessarily an accurate depiction of who we are outside of this crazy ass game.
And I guess lastly is, how different do you think it would have turned out had Cynthia won? Who do you think maybe she would have picked? And do you think she would be the one crowned the winner right now had she been in the two?
Oh gosh. If she had won, she would have pulled Todrick up there and she absolutely would have been the winner. And if she, for some reason, I don't know how her and I would have ended up there, but she probably would have won at that point too, because she was just the sweet, all loving, motherly figure who didn't really understand how to play the game. And she also never was forced to get any blood on her hands. And I mean, who would not love Cynthia? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess actually last question, but what are you looking forward to do now that you're done and you're out? I know you want to see your family.
That's it. That's it. I just want to kiss my babies. I want to hold them and squeeze them until they beg me to put them down. I'm so excited to see my kids and I want to know what my daughter thought of it. And my son is a little too small still probably to understand what is even going on. But I think my daughter will be pretty excited and I want to see what she thought about my obnoxious blue nails that I've had the whole season that I've been pointing out to everybody I've painted because blue is her favorite color. And it was my way of channeling her little warrior spirit into my game. I don't know if you noticed in that last HOH and veto competition, I was decked out in as much blue as I could put on. Like I was like, blue is the color today. And I'm channeling my daughter's love and energy. So long story short, I want to take them toy shopping and I just want to spend time with my family and that's it. I want to spoil my kids.
Well, congratulations. I hope you get to enjoy everything. I know it's a wild night, a weird night, but congrats.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
All righty.